Hello, everyone. My name is Trevor White with Nucleus Research. I'm joined today by Praval Singh of Zoho, Vice President of Customer Experience and Marketing. Praval, thank you so much for joining me today.
Pleasure being here, and thank you for coming to Zoho Day.
Yeah, Zoho Day, and it's been a big conference so far, a couple of big announcements, but I wanted to start off. We talked a lot about Zoho really expanding their coverage in the upper mid-market and enterprise space. Can you talk about how your team's preparing for that? What strategy you guys are looking at as you look to expand your coverage?
Sure. If you look at our upmarket momentum, it started about 7, 8 years ago when, after having served uh, small and medium-sized businesses for the longest time, we started seeing interest from larger organizations around the world uh, come to us for solutions. And what happened in all these years of, well, 3 decades of building technology at the company, we didn't just build the breadth of applications or suite of products, but we also matured these products to have that depth.
Yeah.
What we've been focusing in the recent years is to move from a product-led growth to a platform-led approach. That's the transition that we are in right now. And how we're enabling that is through the platform layer, what we announced yesterday, called the AppOS. And as you saw, the idea is to put it out there, not just for ourselves to build the next set of apps or existing apps on AppOS, but to encourage customers and partners to build on it. And in the enterprise space, a lot of it is vertical. We've been playing in the automobile space, BFSI, manufacturing, retail, and so on and so forth. This is a direction where we will be able to bring in even deeper capabilities for these industries. At the same time, with the platform approach, we enable and invite partners to build on top of it. So far, what we've seen are success in the enterprise world or in the large customer space, I would say, is a lot of co-creation
Mm.
where we work with a large customer, we bring in the technology expertise, they bring in the domain expertise, and we co-create. Our biggest of customers in the auto space or in the banking, financial services space are examples of co-creation. We're going to continue doing that through our platform approach. And now AppOS only invites more people to come and build on it.
Yeah. And you talked a little bit about it, but how is this expansion into enterprise really changing the customer experience for your team? Is it something you're just repeating what you're doing with your smaller organizations? Have you had to change the way that you're interacting now that it's more partnership based?
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting question. So if you look at our SMB business, it's a very self-serve led model. Customers come on the website, they try something for free, uh, and during that trial period, they may or may not engage with us, and then they eventually subscribe to the product they want. And then from one product to multiple, and so on and so forth. In the upmarket space, which is your mid-market and large customers, mid-sized businesses and large customers, what we see is it's a more working together kind of a setup. So everything from getting on demos, building oftentimes a proof of concept, um, and also solutioning. When they even become a customer, we have a in-house team. We also have partnerships with a lot of SIs where the whole implementation cycle starts. So, and it's slightly longer, obviously, as an SMB
Yeah.
play because a large customer is often not looking to buy a point product. A large customer has certain challenges, and we're looking at solving them. Now, that solution could be a Zoho product. It could be a few Zoho products coming in together. It could be a Zoho product or suite interoperating with their existing on-prem, on-cloud solutions. It could be a mix of all of that. So engagement is very different, and hence the customer experience itself changes. Also, after delivery, how we support them, how we engage them, how we train them. We have programs and teams that enable all of that as well. So very different model of engagement, different set of teams that enable that. But yeah, we get to play in the business software space. And as we say, Zoho is for businesses of all sizes.
Mm. What struck me yesterday was Sridhar making the point of he sees as AI is adopted more the increased importance of customer service. Really different from what we hear the rest of the market. It's we can automate this. We're going to have agents deal with it. All that's going to be computerized. You guys are going almost in the complete opposite direction, doubling down on the human workforce. Why do you think that is so important for your customers?
I think while there's a lot of chatter, and I'm saying a lot of benefits of bringing AI into your workflow, I use it personally a lot. Uh, there is a human element that customers really want, and also expectations of customers vary from region to region, right? I mean, we serve customers in more than 150 countries. There's a lot of difference in expectations from a customer in India compared to a customer in Australia or the US or the Europe. So what we want to put it out there is we are not trying to replace human beings. And if as a customer you really want to talk to one of Zoho folks, we want to be there. Sure, we would leverage and we are uh, use AI to make ourselves more productive, do a lot of trivial tasks, make it happen through automation and whatnot. Use agents to do things that agents should be able to do clearly. But when a customer wants to pick up the phone and talk to us, we don't want to make it so difficult for a customer that she has to go through hoops to talk to a human being.
Yeah.
That's what Sridhar meant, that we are staffing up, we are hiring people, we're building teams on the support side because we value that and customers love that about us. So we're going to keep it that way. There are things that will get automated, but there are things that we want a human interface available.
Yeah. And I guess more of a philosophical question for you. When we look at CX, a lot of it's product, a lot of it is service.
Mhm.
What does that kind of push and pull look like for you guys as you move forward? Is it going to be more on the service side? Is it going to change the way that you're designing your products?
I think a bit of both. That's an interesting way to look at customer experience is not a department. It's not a product. It's 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 a phenomenon. It's a practice. It's how you operate as a company. And customer experience is also not just customer support. It's part of it, but that's not the end. Customer experience, I believe, is everything that someone who visits your website or meets you at an event like this may or may not be a customer today. What's the impression she has about you based on the interactions across touch points, online, offline? That's what customer experience is. So many touch points. That's the reason why it can't be a one department thing or a one person thing. How the entire organization comes together to deliver that experience. So if our checkout experience on the website is not good, that's a leaking bucket. You have to fix that. If your onboarding is weak, you have to fix that. So it all comes together. And again, at Zoho, what we're trying to do is stitch this together as an experience, both online and offline, so that when people come uh, to us looking for something, we're able to service their needs. Some of it will be automated, obviously, through AI and chatbots and whatnot. But experiences like these, a physical event, always it goes a long way in building that trust.
Yeah.
And we do our user conferences called Zoholics around the world. Uh, and some of the most interesting stories that I've come across from customers are at those events where people get to meet people who are driving those products. I think that's an experience which is very hard to emulate in the online world sometimes. So we value all of that, and our approach is going to be uh, setting out the right set of tools. And again, because we make these tools ourselves, and Zoho runs on Zoho, so we're able to bring the technology, but also as a practice, as people and culture, all that put together is how we look at elevating customer experience.
It's wonderful. The other announcement we didn't talk about yet, ERP. Big thing for you guys. Maybe that one little piece that was missing to make you one of really the only vendors in the world that can offer across the business full platform. What do you think that's going to do for your business? What are your customers talking to you about? Now, you're mentioning that you have it. How do you think this is going to impact you going forward?
Yeah, ERP is something that we've been at it for the last couple of years. Customers have been asking for it. But the way we look at this is it's not an isolated piece. For us, the entire Siva spoke about our entire finance suite yesterday and how we are looking at going further from here on. So there's a banking part to it. There is the whole fintech piece. ERP is also part of it. And we've built all these applications from our invoicing software, accounting software, inventory management, commerce, POS. We've done a lot of it. And now this ERP becomes the backend to help businesses streamline their operations. Early days still, I would say. We've just announced it in India a couple of weeks ago. We are looking at bringing it to the US later this year, lay this out. And again, we're going to serve verticals like manufacturing and retail and so on and so forth. We have a long way to go, to be honest, on that. But we are pretty certain that the approach that we have taken of looking at ERP not in isolation, but essentially how does money move in a business?
Yeah.
Right? Everything from how you collect money to how you manage your money, how you make payouts. The whole thing is how the entire finance suite has worked on the last 10, 15 years, and ERP is a natural outcome of it. And you'll see more from us later this year, especially for this market, but also in other regions. We are slowly and gradually rolling it out. Just the announcement after it happened a couple of weeks ago in India, we saw massive response, a lot of interest, some good early conversations with large customers as well. So yeah, we're pretty positive about where ERP takes us.
And India is such a great testing ground, just given the massive size of a lot of these companies. Talking to Anand yesterday about the fact that, you could have a small business in India that has 6 million end users for you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Come to the United States, that's a huge player. What do you think that testing ground does for you as you look to expand, and what kind of changes do you think you're going to have to make as you look at maybe the US markets or Japan, for instance?
Yeah, so interestingly, while we have we've had people in India in terms of our employees, customer base, which is pretty heavy, also the fastest growing market. US still continues to be our biggest
Yeah.
market. It has always been that way. Business is still growing. What it enables us to do is a couple of things. One is uh, we start to dog food on our products, pretty much most of them internally first, wherever we can. So that gives us exposure into what we're putting out for the rest of the world. Then the extensive partner network that we have, we open it out to them to test it out and with their customers. So that becomes a good test ground. And as you said, India, because of volume, right, you are able to get that early feedback loop, the 0 to 1, and figure out the product market fit, for the product in terms of feature parity and everything else, integrations for that matter. When we take it to the other region now, it could be Middle East, Africa, could be US, could be Europe, then the regional nuances come into play. It could be compliance led, it could be local integrations, it could be certain governance angle that you want to look at. And we've done that with our other software as well, our payroll, our accounting software, especially anything which is tighter on the governance side. We've rolled out products and announcements in phases around the world. Even for ERP, that's the approach that we're going to take. And the fact that we have people in these countries, including the US, our local teams, our local partners, so that helps in our regional GTM.
One thing that Vijay mentioned yesterday was the reason why SaaS has been so successful over the past 20 years is it really shifted the risk from the end user to the vendor. Now with AI, with homegrown agents, things like that, we're seeing that risk profile change a little bit. How do you prepare your customers to potentially take on a little bit more risk, to change the way that they've been thinking about their software? It's not just something that I buy and interact with. It's something that I'm almost co-developing as I try and create agents or new interfaces.
No, the fact is, while there are AI-led tools to help you build anything today by giving prompts and whatnot, what's important in the business world, and we are a pure B2B heavy company, so to say, what we've seen is a lot of companies today, when we talk about have a very, I would say, fragmented IT setup. You talk to a mid-sized company in India, they may have dozens of tools already running. Snapping AI on it doesn't solve that problem. If anything, it makes it worse, right? Our foundation, the AppOS for that matter, or the platform approach that we have, takes care of a lot of these things natively. In the sense, you have the foundation layer, everything is built on top of it. So upgrade, security, certain workflows, or creating a new module, all of that comes from that well-guarded system, which is very critical when it comes to governance, right? We're seeing a lot of shadow IT already becoming a problem at companies, right? So I think it's important to give that flexibility to the end user to be able to do things. Let's say putting out a prototype. That should be easy. And AI is making it so interesting, easy, and fun today, right? That's important. But in a sector that is either very regulated or a function or a practice which needs a lot of governance, you have to have guardrails in place. Having that foundation, that platform enables that. And then on top of it, when you have capabilities like code gen or low code for that matter, even before AI, that enables the agility, time to value, and quicker implementation at the customer end. And at the same time, takes care of governance. Secondly, with all these low code, no code tools on top of the platform that we have, change management also becomes pretty easy. Take a regulated industry, let's say banking. Let's say there is a new thing that got rolled out by the governing body, right? How fast are you able to roll that change out is what these low code, no code tools and now code gen enables people. So it has to be a balance of having that governance in place at the same time that agility that customers want. And that's the direction that we are in. And AppOS, if anything, just enables that.
How do you enable that customer, excuse me, that customer education to make sure that they feel confident and comfortable using all these new applications, but they're also using them the correct way?
Yeah, so one of the responsibilities that our teams have, especially on the customer education side, is to create content that is available as self-serve. So a lot of tutorials, videos, documents, could be on the API side, could be on the usage side, could be just a feature explanation, all of that. So a lot of videos, they sit on the website, on video channels, and so on and so forth. The other part of it is live webinars. So whenever we announce something, and for existing users, we do these webinars, which are both on demand and live, where people can ask questions, get this sorted. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is we run this program where we get customers to learn more closely with us. It's a paid program where you could do a certification, you could do a learning session, we could do a workshop for you if that's something that you're interested in. And the last piece is our Zoho community initiative, where it's been a long-standing initiative. We do a lot of community meetups. There are community forums where we have customers asking questions, and some long-term customers and partners, our evangelists, actually helping other people solve those problems as well. So, and then we also have physical meetups around the world, hundreds of them every year, to bring people together. And so the different touch points, again, like I said, all part of customer experience.
Doubling down on people.
Exactly. So different touch points, and some people may choose to consume that content on demand, sitting on a couch on their tablet, whereas some would want a sit-down engagement. So we have both. And video is, I would say, a primary channel now, and more people are wanting to look at videos to learn things, and we're investing heavily on creating those videos as well.
Awesome. Last question. It's been a pretty intense 18, 24 months for software users out there. What do you think the next 18, 24 months it has in store for them? And what do you think they should be focusing their energies on?
Yeah, I mean, just imagine if we were talking about this last year at Zoho Day, no matter what I said, won't have mattered today. So it's very hard to have that crystal ball and say how things would be. But one thing I think we've all come around to is embracing AI in our own workflows, in our jobs, which may vary from a developer to a support person to a marketing person to an analyst.
Yeah.
All of us are embracing these tools and seeing how they make our lives easier. But one other thing that is pretty certain now is the speed at which you can create software. That's undeniably changing. You can put things out there really fast. So what will happen is we'll see a lot more software in the world. Your differentiation is going to be at the experience layer. So it's hard to differentiate at the system of record level, but a system of experiences is where things would really matter, I would say.
Yeah.
And to drive those experiences, you need the platform. From everything, like I said, from capability to governance, how do you bake that in and then get people to build on top of it to create that experience? I think that's where the differentiation layer is going to move further up in terms of abstraction. And that's what excites us. And that's what we are up to. And we've been around for 3 decades now, seeing these transformations from the desktop to cloud to mobile to now AI. So yeah, we're pretty optimistic about it. But yes, it's I would say interesting times ahead.
Well, Praval, thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure.
I hope everybody at home found it just as informative. Thank you so much.